Hey everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan. This is Kana, you're in my corner, and I have a returning guest in the corner, and I think everybody can predict who you are.
Oh man, it's been like, what is this, like my fifth or sixth time on the show now? It's not even funny anymore. It's just sad.
I don't count anymore at this point, to be honest.
But I'm not sad. I'm very happy to be here for my however many time. This is Chris Sneosi, aka Kirbopher, and happy birthday, 918 The Fan. I think in a couple days, or no, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow, yes. 3 years celebrating. I'm very, very excited, very happy for you guys.
Yes, it'll be, actually, it's her second year tomorrow.
Oh, second, okay, my bad.
So, I know, it feels like it's been forever, hasn't it? Either way, have to say, it was also your birthday as well.
It was, yes, on New Year's Eve, and I had a wonderful time, mostly sleeping in, and
so wild parties?
No, I had some friends over the day before, and been kind of taking a relaxing week between doing stuff with my web series and other crap. But yeah, my birthday itself was very just kind of lax. Watched a lot of TV, just kind of hung out. But it was fun. It was very cool, and very open to 2012. 2011 was had a lot of ups and downs. I would describe 2012 as tried my best, wasn't quite good enough, need to try even better next time, and that's what I want to follow up on with 2012 without the world blowing up or whatever the mythology behind that is. I didn't see that movie, so I don't know.
I didn't see it either, so we're in the same boat. So I assume you have a lot of New Year resolutions.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, they're very kind of general. I don't go super specific with my New Year's resolutions. Yeah, resolutions. I would just like to continue furthering my animation career and getting myself out there more and continuing to label myself as an independent, which is what I have been doing technically, and just kind of chugging along. But
I wish I had like party favors or a birthday hat or something, and then we could like party together. All I got for New Year's, because my mom actually works at the Bellagio, which is a casino here in Las Vegas, and she usually brings weird stuff back from the New Year's party. Like I have masks with feathers and weird hats and boas and things, and she brought these weird dorky glasses. They're octagon round, and at the end of them, they have, like, two dangly chains with, like, I guess disco balls or something attached to them. And she's like, wear it and show everybody. So I had to show everybody on webcam.
Oh, and like, ha, Jackie, you look like a weirdo Vegas person, man. You remind me, I've only ever been to Vegas, like, once in my life, and I was way too young to enjoy any of the finer points of the
You mean,
state.
like, the drinking and the gambling?
Or the gambling, or the whatever, I don't know. No, I mean, it was... My only, memory of Vegas was, my memories were not being able to do anything, going, I think, to the M&M store, and it was, like, blazing disgustingly hot out, and I was dying.
Well, that's actually where I take everybody. I take them to the M&M store, and underneath is, I can't remember what it's called. It's not like GameStop. It's GameWorks, I think it is. And it's like a big arcade, and like you pay $25 for 2 hours, and you can play whatever you want.
Very cool.
And so that's where I take everybody, because most of my friends aren't 21. I mean, I'm not even 21 yet. So, and I'm not really, I wouldn't be a drinker, and I'm not really a gambler. I don't really have the money, so I prefer to just play video games.
Maybe I'll go to Vegas for my birthday. Around 24, because I just turned 23 now, so.
Oh, well, very nice.
The pathetic dropout age. That's me. Well, no, I'm not a dropout. I graduated this year. That was a thing that happened since the last. I think it's been almost an entire year since I was on the show.
That's the last time I think we had you on was when you were on with Martin.
Yes, when I invaded his episode, which I'm hoping to somehow sneak into his interview this Friday and crap all over him again, because I just can't help myself. And Shady's involved too, and I can't help it.
Intro.
So I'll find a way. I will pester all of you DJs to somehow get in and be like, hey guys, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Prince, I don't know, whatever.
Well, as long as you don't make him curse on air.
Oh no, we'll be fine.
That was the best moment from the last interview, actually. We still make fun of that. Sorry, Mark.
When I just popped in, it's like, hey, that's right. Oh, when he almost, yeah, that was.
It's like, don't curse, Curb, don't curse, and then he does.
Like, no, I'll be fine. Yeah, no. I was a good boy. I'm not even with my disgusting mouth. Typically, I kept it all inside, but.
That's one of the things I did this year that I was really upset about. Is in 2011, I said my first curse word on air, and I was like, no. It wasn't my show. It was somebody else's show, and they invited me on to do commentary with them on Retro Game Master.
Oh, phew. Okay.
Yeah, and so, but still, I was like, no, my
As
perfect.
opposed to like, hey, I'm talking to Yuri Lowenthal today, and boop, boop, boop. Oh, whoops.
It was funny because the IRC didn't get on my case. I expected everybody in the IRC to immediately point fingers at me, and nobody said a word.
Oh, it's the internet. They're just like, yeah, whatever. We
Well,
hear
they
it all the time, whatever.
a chance to make fun of me. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Anyway, we're getting totally off topic, but
Yeah, completely. Whatever. It's cool. We're celebrating. Before we talk about all my crap, I want to say congratulations to you guys on 2 years. And you have always been there for me. I know you don't know it, but like while at work, and in need of things to listen to while animating or drawing or whatever, I've often listened to all of the interviews that you guys have done and everything, and it was quite a pleasure. And I've watched you guys grow from a tiny little Animu radio station to the powerhouse of getting huge people like, I don't know, you're getting somebody from Ratchet and Clank tomorrow, I think, which my girlfriend is playing currently.
yeah, we're getting the voice of Mr. Zircon.
Yes. Have you had Ratchet before,
James Arnold Taylor? Yeah. We got him last
I
year.
figured. I probably listened to that one and just didn't remember it. But
He was really nice to interview. That was really exciting for me, personally, because I'm one of the rare people that likes Titus. I'm just saying.
He's fun. And it's funny because, like, James Arnold Taylor is known for so much more stuff, and yet that's what I remember him for. And I haven't even played that game. I just know, oh yeah, he was that guy in Final Fantasy X. So, yeah.
Well,
not that I'm James Arnold Taylor or anything, but I don't have nearly the extensive resume that he does.
Well, let me say it really is nice to hear that you enjoy the station and you've continued to listen. And for a lot of the people in the IRC and the live chat too, there's some people who've been around for 2 years as well since we started. And to hear that they still come to the live chat every day or they still listen every day is kind of amazing. And it makes me feel so much better because I actually didn't get any sleep last night because I've been working on a super secret project we're launching tomorrow that nobody knows about.
Oh.
For her birthday, and so I don't feel so tired and like, oh, why am I working on this? Because there are so many people who, enjoy what we do.
We're energizing you with our support. Yes. It's good. It's very good.
You guys,
I'm very proud of you guys, and I'm very happy to have been I would think your most recurring guest now with
yes.
I've invaded the show between, hey, I want to talk to Megan Hollistead. Hey, I'm going to bother little Karibo. I'm going to do this and blah, blah, blah all the time, whatever. But, you guys continue to put up with me, and that's very saintly of you to do so.
Well, you've technically beat Crows because Crows is a staff member now. He has his own show, so.
Okay. That's been the case for a while. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But I will say, since we've gotten so off topic, and thank you for our words, and I'm sure the listeners really enjoyed hearing that as well. But now, I watched a ton of your stuff this morning because Christmas informed me, because I had seen the first episode of Tome, but I was going to watch the second episode before the interview, and I did. But then he's like, oh yeah, it was like a little sprite thing. I was like, a little sprite thing? Okay, so I look it up, and it has like 70 episodes, and I'm like, I can't watch this in 2 hours.
No, and that would not be the point. Okay, so I guess to explain, Tome is it stands for Terrain of Magical Expertise. It is a, excuse me, original web series that I just started in November of last year, and it is a revamp of the very first big scale project that I ever did on Newgrounds, which was called TV Tome Adventures, which was a sprite series. I used, I would edit graphics of pre-existing games to look like characters that I'd come up with, and had them act out the whole story and etc. And I decided earlier in this year. I've been plotting things for a while. I decided, hey, I'm going to try taking this concept and totally redoing it from the ground up and making it into an original series. And we have 2 episodes out, and there was a short in between the 2 episodes as well. It is meant so that you do not have to have seen all 70-something episodes of the original series it was based on to get it. It is totally, you can just go into it like as a new person and, enjoy it for what it is. As, there is a several year gap between when I did the original TV Tome Adventures and when I've done this now, as I'd like to think I've developed my animation and storytelling skills quite a bit since then. So and it's about this sort of social networking / multiplayer online game that has taken over the entire world. It's the most popular thing around, in the not so distant future, and it focuses on these 5 dudes that all play the game together and some of the things that they go through, and one of them is infected by this strange virus thing that can affect people in real life in the game. Sound familiar? I'm sure it does, but it's fun, and it has we have a wonderful cast of people like Shady Vox and Little Karibo, and some special guest stars in the last 2 episodes, and plenty more where that came from. We've got music by Mr. Weston Durant, who most people know as Kadget. He was the guy that did the original Over 9000 video, and he is quite a talented musician. We've got some background art done by such people that worked on the Nintendo collabs, and like Dave Smith, Cracky Dave from GG Guys, and the other things. And I'm making it. None that really matters or anything, but it's my thing, I guess. But and we and they're all like full length like TV show length episodes as well. The first 2 have been somewhere around like 20 minutes or so each, and they've done reasonably well so far. Especially they're officially sponsored on Newgrounds, and we got a Facebook page and a Twitter and all the works. So yeah, that's the thing. Was that long-winded enough?
No, I think you can go on more. No, I'm kidding. But I'm curious, does it have any sort of release schedule for new episodes, or is it just when you get them done?
I'm trying to get them done roughly once per month. Episode 3, which is the next one I'm doing, I am thinking I'm probably going to aim for like Valentine's Day for that one, give myself a little bit of extra time because I'm revamping some things. I've been getting feedback, and I've been having like little columns where, hey, this here, how about this like aspect of the show or this part of the format of how I produce it? Do you think how should I change this, or how should I fix this, or whatever? And then people will give me their feedback. And also there's the reviews on Newground submissions as well. I take some of that stuff to heart, and with each episode I try to update a few different things, and continue. I'm fond of this one phrase people had for the original TV Tome Adventures, which was growing the beard. It was a TV trope, a description, which is that with each episode it progressively gets better as the creator gets better. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that idea, and I wanted to kind of follow that tradition by having people interact with it directly. And when I say, hey, how should I fix this up? What should I do with this, etc. And that's been proving very useful so far. So, hoping to get one roughly out per month if I can get that done. So.
Well, I will say I preferred the second episode. Maybe it's because the characters were already established and we already, got the introduction to them, and so we got to see a little bit more of their development in the second episode for those 3 specific characters.
Yeah, episode 1 was definitely just like your standard pilot of like, hey, here's everybody. This is how it went. I mean, just like in the original, like, oh, we have to show how they all meet, and it's going to take like 3 individual episodes, and then they fight the 2 bad guy characters, and I'm like, I'm just going to compress all this stuff and have it be a quick little introductory one, and then, have some cool stuff in there, we'll get people pumped up, and then, the following ones, what's been cool is that, like, I have episodes focusing on just certain characters in the main cast and not all 5 of them at once. Like, of course, in the second episode, we had, like, the late night adventures of Kirbopher and Nylok, and, trying to find out stuff about Game Craze. The next episode I can tease will be a little more about Alpha and Flame Girl, our sort of budding love interest, and also Nylok, because Nylok's just got to be everywhere all the time. Because I think fans would revolt if he was not there to scream, "Nylok, bastard of being in every single episode!" So.
That was one of my favorite moments of the whole thing I've seen so far. The one that got me to laugh the most is when he shouts and you see him in the background when he jumps behind that rock.
Nylok, master of lasting and improvising.
And then
Martin is so much fun with that character. It's ridiculous.
That was the thing that got me to laugh the most. I was just like, that was clever. So I hope we see more comedy like that.
Nylok is Nylok was a big favorite character in the original, but I'm surprised by this because he didn't really have that much of a personality to speak of in the original. Actually, nobody really did in the first series. But I knew I wanted to make him like very over the top, very like a dramatic role player this time around. I thought of a few different people for him, but ultimately I was like, you know what? I can't not use Martin because he's so perfect, and like it's fun because I'm directing him as a blast and recording him for the episodes. I just recorded him for episode 3, I think a week and a half ago or so, and he's such a blast because Nylok is like every character in his Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series, like all combined together into one psychotic amalgamation. And because he's only playing one character and not like every character, he can like go everywhere, and every part of his voice, every bit of range in his voice can be explored with Nylok, and he's just so lovable because he's so ridiculous. So I love Nylok totally.
Now, one thing I do have to ask, because I absolutely know nothing about Flash. My only experience with Flash is like, in computer class in like my first year of high school is they showed us how to, make the ball go from one point of the screen to the other. So I'm curious, are the fight scenes the hardest thing to do, or is it something else?
I'm not sure if there's a hardest part. I set up Tome in a it's not very beautiful animation. I'll say that up front. It's I set up the format of it to be very easy to produce within a monthly basis, which is why that the overall look of it is like an in-game, engine, like watching a let's play of a game in a way.
Mm-hmm.
The cutscenes that involve dialogue, are told through like those little, I call them the talking avatars, a little static expressions of the characters close up and the little test bubbles and things. Very kind of tales of kind of way of having characters interact, and then for the fight scenes I have the sprite style they're not pixelated, but they're sprite style animations of the characters running, jumping, getting hurt, attacking, whatever. With the battle grid behind them and all that. I guess technically the hardest part would be the shots that are fully animated and drawn close up, or whatever, and because those can be a little more time consuming than just like, here, take this stock animation, and move it over here or whatever. So I set it up so there's not necessarily a hard part, because the hard part is literally just the stuff that is full, hand-drawn animation, which I, try to limit to just, here's a shot of, somebody doing something so that I can get it out quickly. Mm-hmm. One of the problems with web series sometimes is that depending on how they go, they can be very, difficult to get out in, X amount of time because of how ambitious the creators get. I specifically chose, okay, I'm going to go with a limited animation style here so that I can produce, what is going to be a big story, on a faster basis. Because, if you, hey, here's this episode, okay, the next one's not going to come out for like 4 months, then you lose your audience. And,
if I can reference anything, because we talked about it on air like a few, I believe it was a week or so ago, but we talked about Dead Fantasy on air, and that's a perfect example.
Oh, right. And I mean, like, I've seen a little bit of that. That's like really ambitious, like really detailed CG animation, and of course that would take painstaking amounts of time to finish. If you remember when I was on 1 year ago this time, I was in the middle of finishing my college thesis balancing act, which just got released online like the other day. You can check that out. It's on all my blogs and everything. I linked to it. That was more example of that kind of, heavy work intensive, project where like, hey, okay, I have a 7-minute animation. I'm going to spend an entire year working on it to make it as pretty and touched up and nice looking as possible. Which I did, and I'm very proud with the visuals of that. I'm very proud of everything with that project as well. That's something that would take much longer amount of time. Where Tome, I with each episode, okay, I need to get this much amount of new stuff done, add it to the stock of stuff that I already have, carried over from all the animations of here's Alpha running, jumping, throwing, hitting, whatever. And then I can just add, here's this new character, and here's their set of stock animations, and I can just, continue to use those for whenever I need them. So, yeah.
Well, I like that, and for anybody who hasn't checked it out, you can do so while we take a short break here on 91.8 The Fan. You'll probably only get, a small section through, but hey, you'll have a better idea of it. So keep it tuned to your favorite station. You're not going anywhere, right? At least we don't think so.
No, wait, are we not stopped yet? Because I was going to say, everything you want, nothing you don't.
Perfect, so he's not going anywhere. Keep it tuned. Hey, everybody out there, you're tuned in to 91.8 The Fan, and my special guest is still here. Yes?
I am. Hello.
Oh, yes, we didn't lose you, and I didn't scare you away.
You're never going to, come on. You always say that when you come back from the commercial.
I
You're not
do.
losing them.
Well, sometimes I have. I mean, there was this, I can't remember what interview it was, because at this point I've done so many, so I just...
Hey, we're back, and oh, crap.
It's like, hey, we're back. You're still there, right? Yeah?
Oh, no. Commercial good, whatever. Anyway.
That was amazing. So, I have to do that now. That way,
you'll never lose me. I'm just talking to you over Skype. I'm not. I'm on the phone because I'm such a busy person. Oh God, I got to talk to my agent. I'll scream, man, take the calls for me.
Well, Skype honestly is more preferred for us because it's better quality, and it just turns out better in the long run. And Skype doesn't like phones. It tries to, but it doesn't.
And I know that one all too well from the few interviews I've ever conducted.
Oh yeah. So,
anyway,
we were talking a little bit over the break about it, but I wanted to know if there was anything else that you wanted to pimp out to the listeners out there.
Oh, what else? Well, in terms of animated material, you can find all the new stuff on Kirbopher.blogspot.com, Kirbopher.newgrounds.com. I have a Facebook page set up for Tome, which is facebook.com/Tome series. I'm tweeting constantly at twitter.com/Kirbopher, etc. So I have Tome, first 2 episodes up, and Balancing Act, my college thesis, that's all finished now, is up to be viewed.
You also have your Tumblr.
Yeah, yes, on my Tumblr, yes, Kirbopher.tumblr.com, you can check that out. I've been making more updates to that since the year started. It's sometimes, I don't always have time to, just draw stuff, so I try to update it as much as I can. In between being so busy, but there's a lot of that stuff. In terms of other things, another big thing that happened to me earlier this year, as this is relevant to your podcast, is I got to do some voiceover for another anime series, and it's not Pokemon.
Oh my god!
Oh yes, because in case anybody didn't already know, I was on Pokemon once, by the way. Is the joke, but. Yeah, I'm very, very happy to say, if we have any fans listening right now of this series, I'm playing a character on Bakuman, which is not to be confused with Bakugan, as I have had many people make that mistake. It is a series done by the same creators as Death Note and Hikaru no Go, and I think some other series as well, but those are the 2 big ones they were known for previously, and it's... you haven't seen it, it's a series about these 2 kids who start out in middle school and they want to become manga artists for Shonen Jump, which is Shonen Jack, because, Uh, but
Copyright.
but you get it. Yeah. So, one of them is a writer, one of them is an artist, and they team up and they start coming up with concepts to pitch to the company and eventually get published and get serialized doing a manga series. And it's all about their trials and tribulations going through life with, trying to get their original stuff off the ground, and their, sort of, weird romantic escapades that happen, some of which are kind of interesting and, some of which are cute. And they find rivalry and camaraderie with fellow artists that they compete and draw alongside and things. And it's very cool. If any of you guys out there are creative and have ever drawn or written or done original independent stuff, there's something very cool about this series that will hit home for you. And I was very, very lucky, out of complete, the blue, to get a part on this show. I'm playing this character Yujiro, who is one of the editors at Shonen Jack, quote unquote. He's in charge of this kid Eiji Nizuma, who's one of those really eccentric artist kids who's maybe a little special in the brain, a little bit maybe. I see a little bit of my young self in him. But, so it's like I'm babysitting my younger self. This character Yujiro is kind of in charge of Eiji, we got deadlines. Can you get this 50-page? Eiji! And he's blasting music and making weird sound effects in the background or whatever. And my character's just trying to survive and keep his damn job, and has to oversee this crazy genius artist in check for the company. But I just recorded the second DVD a little while ago, within the last month or so. And, the first DVD is out. You can get it on, Right Stuff and Amazon and buy it. Buy the DVD. Bandai just got, major bad stuff happened to it.
They got sucker punched.
They canceled a bunch of stuff because you guys are downloading. Buy the DVDs. Come on, guys, please. So, but Volume 1 of Bakuman is out. I have, 5 lines of dialogue in it. But, and what is it? And then the second DVD I think is coming out in February or March. I forget when exactly, but it's coming. And yes, so that was a lot of fun to do.
My producer led me astray. He told me a very small portion of what you did, because all he said was, "I love Japan." Period. I was like, what?
Ha! Well. The best part is that this is still on the DVD. If you listen really closely, there's a scene. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to anyway. There's a scene on Bakuman Volume 1. If any of you guys get it or have it already, you can find it. I believe it's in it's on the 6th or 7th. There's 7 episodes in the DVD. It's on the 6th or 7th. I forget which one. But there's a scene where after I finished recording my 5 lines of my character on that DVD, I did some background voices, which is Walla, where we have like 5 or 6 people do all the background noise in whatever scene. There was a part where character is having a flashback to his younger years and starting school up, and there was a part where, oh, look, the cherry blossoms are falling, and oh, it's all nice and cute, and okay, all right, we need 6 or 7 seconds of high school or middle school kids kind of just talking about whatever, and I'm like, okay, boop, boop, boop. Man, I sure do love cherry blossoms. I love sushi too. I love Japan, period. Garugamesh.
Oh god.
Yeah, and the best part is that it was kept on the DVD, and you can still kind of hear it, mixed just very slightly underneath Mike Center Nicholas narrating as the main character Moritaka. It's on there, and the director just looked at me and he was like, "What?" And I had to explain it to him, and he laughed. So I got my kicks out of it. I just couldn't believe they kept it. I was like, really? I did a couple different takes of that, but I was like, all right, cool, whatever.
That's a nice Easter egg for the fans, though.
Oh, yeah, that was the thing. There's another Easter egg I did. I think I was talking about, reading Dragon Ball. I was like, oh, man, I picked up this comic the other day, and it was, all these, muscly guys, and their hair was spiking out. I don't know what the heck was going on. It was really cool, man, yeah. Something like that. But, yeah, I had more actual material for my named character in the second DVD, and did a lot of things I didn't expect, either. It was quite surprising, but very cool. I was like, oh, we're going in this direction. Oh, neat. Okay, but yeah. So I was just very happy to be part of the show because I was a fan of the series in college. I was reading the manga, and I thought, oh man, I would love to do something for this series if that were ever humanly possible. I didn't think in a million years I'd get something on it. Like it was completely just like, hey, guess what? Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, and I just went in and did it. So that was very interesting.
Well,
But
I've heard it's a really good series. I haven't gotten a chance to read it or see it yet because I barely have a chance to like sleep. So my anime intake is so small.
it's definitely a series worth checking out. I highly recommend it. I will admit, and I didn't really even think about this too much until I watched it like several times through, but there's a few cultural things about it that I think can sometimes be. I didn't really know this too much, but apparently people don't always like the views that the Death Note creators Obata and Oba, I believe their names are. Some of the ways that they portray, I think they're female characters. I think sometimes
Hmm.
people aren't always cool with that, and I can understand where that comes from. I think that the girl characters in Bakuman are actually pretty cool, pretty interesting, even if some of them don't seem it on first glance. But I think that they're all pretty interesting, and I think all the characters are great. I love the two main boys a lot because they're basically like they remind me so much of me and my best friend when we were kids and we were like coming up with ideas for drawings and TV shows and games and whatever.
So you can
Uh,
really relate to it.
I really relate to it, and in another universe I was like, oh man, I wish I could have been able to try for one of the two main kids, but I'm very happy with my character because it's still something cool, and it's interesting because like I'm playing a character who's close to like 30 years old, and I'm 23, and the other actors are like far older than I am, and they're playing the teenagers. So I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I do this right because I don't want to sound not age appropriate for this character. So I had to kind of pull through the best I could, and I think I did all right for my 5 lines in the first DVD that's out. But yeah.
Awesome. Then I'll have to check that out. Or the listeners, the listeners should have already checked it out. I'm just saying, and they
They
should
should have.
tell me. They should tell me how awesome your performance is.
So you should
Yes.
do it, Jackie.
Yes, I should. I should. Because I have the fun, like, now what I have is I finally bought, like, the Funimation, like, premium thingamabobber online, so I can actually watch things online. So now I gotta start going to Crunchyroll and all the other ones and, like, buy my monthly subscription stuff. Because now I'm
Yeah,
starting to watch.
Bakuman I think was licensed by Media Blasters, which was interesting because I think they got Bakuman and Squid Girl, which a few friends of mine are in. They got those series around the same time, and when I learned that, I figured, oh, okay, Bakuman's probably going to go to Bank Zoom, and I will not have a chance to get on. Maybe my friends will get on it. Cool, all right. And then suddenly, like, oh, we're doing it in New York, and I'm like, oh, well, okay, sure. So. But yeah, I don't know if that one is streaming on Crunchyroll or any of those sites. But the DVD I think is really cheap because it's 7 episodes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
probably pick that one up for only like $15 or so on like Red Stuff and things. But it's worth it. It's a very cute show. So.
Now, do you have any other projects or anything that's coming up that you want to maybe hint at, or anything like that? Give us a little teaser, anything like that?
You know, I've a year ago I was all so vague about like, oh man, working on a million things and can't talk about any of them. Oh, you know what? Here's another thing. Skullgirls, which was a video game that I have been working on. I did a bunch of character animation for that game. Excuse me. Over the summer. Those of you who haven't heard of that one, it is a traditional fighting game created by these two dudes, Alex Ahad and Mike Z, and they were both avid traditional fighter players of things like Street Fighter and Guilty Gear and Marvel vs. whatever, for many years, and they got together and made this independent fighting game engine with these really cool original like girl characters that have like monsters and weird stuff like implanted on them, and they got picked up by a publisher, and they're going to be putting it out on, I believe, Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network. Supposed to come out early this year. I don't think there's an official date just yet, but look out for that. I did character animation on several of the girls that are playable, including Parasol, Misfortune, Painwheel, little tiny bit on Valentine, who was just revealed recently. And it's very cool. Got a great cast of actors as well, several of which are friends of mine, some of which will be appearing in Tome, speaking of which, even in the next episode, as a matter of fact. And yeah, it looks gorgeous. It plays really tight. I tested a little bit of the game at New York Comic Con a few months ago. Very cool stuff. If you're big into traditional fighting games like the ones I listed before, definitely pick that game up. I have a feeling it's going to be big. So.
Which I've been watching it a little bit. I'm trying to remember what's the character that I wanted to pick up immediately. She's the one with like the henchman, and she's all in black. She's a princess.
Parasol.
Yeah.
That was the first character I did animation for, and she's voiced by Erin Fitzgerald, who I met several years ago at San Diego Comic-Con. She was a very wonderful person. I don't know if you guys have had her on the show yet. You should definitely try to get her if you haven't.
Well, that's all Chris's fault.
Well, Christmas, if you're listening, get Erin Fitzgerald. She's wonderful. She was the voice of Naz on Ed, Edd n Eddy, the hottie blonde girl that everybody had affections for. And she's wonderful actress, really nice person. And she's playing that character. And Parasol is cool. Yeah, I have kind of an affinity for her because she was the first person I did some moves for. I remember I did like her light kick animation and her like aerial smash down with the parasol animation with like lights on fire or whatever, something. Yeah, it was all kind of a blur, but yeah, she's cool. I like her and I like Misfortune, who's the discombobulated cat girl that like shoots her parts of her body off of herself.
See, that one creeps me out a little bit, but that's just
She's
me.
so funny though, and that's Kimlin Tran, who you should also have on the show sometime. She's cute and funny and does lots of puns with like about cats, and it's hilarious. And yeah. little bloody, which I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, that's in there. Whoa, okay. But she's very inventive. I love all the character designs. They're great.
Well, hopefully we'll see that released in the first quarter of this year, because I know they pushed it back at one point.
Yes, I do believe it's supposed to come out in the first quarter. I know there's not like an official date set yet, but look out for it soon because it'll be coming. So.
Well, you'll keep us updated on your Tumblr, on your Facebook, on your Twitter, and all that stuff, right?
Yes, absolutely. Anytime there's a demo video that has, hey, I did this animation, look at it, and buy this game, please.
It's so pretty. And so, it's been nice, though, to catch up with you, because we actually personally haven't even talked in a really long time.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, totally. And again, I'm very happy to be. Am I your first interview of the year?
Yes.
I think? Yeah, so that's a huge honor, and I'm very happy to be back for the millionth time. And we'll continue to pester you guys incessantly and come back on over and over and over and invade other interviews possibly.
Well, thank you for coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you guys have really saved me during long work hours, and I need to veg out and listen to Jackie talk to Steve Kramer or somebody. I don't know. Whatever. Cool. And so that's been really, really great, and I'm glad. I'm trying to think of what else, because I know we still have like 10 minutes or so. What else I could talk about? Well,
is there anything else you'd like to tell the listeners out there, maybe?
Well, to the listeners, thank you guys all for if those of you listening are fans of my stuff, thank you so much for supporting it. If you're fans of the fan, then thank you for supporting them, because they're great and they deserve it. And keep listening, and keep watching for stuff. I feel like I should talk about something for like the next episode of Tome or whatever. It's like I should give out teasers, but
we don't want you to spoil too much, because you did.
Well, I can talk about certain things that spoil stuff. I'm just trying to think of what I should say. That would be cool. What do you think? Jackie, in your professional opinion, Jackie?
Oh gosh, is it going to relate to the main plot, or will it be sort of more character development like episode 2? How about that?
I'll say this much. My plan is I'm trying to sort of set up the series where I have one episode all of them have development, of course, but one more plot related and then one more fun related. Like episode 2 was more just like, this is just kind of a random adventure. Even though there was a hacker, there was a threat in that episode, it was still a little more laid back. I would say episode 3 is maybe a little more on the plot, like, dramatic side of things. So there's some tension in there. I mentioned it's a little related to Alpha and Flamey, in this one, a little more focused on there. I'll say this much. I'll say, because I'm probably going to have some stuff on the Facebook page talking about them. Some of the characters that you guys might have caught in the first episode, there's a scene where Nylock is leading his little ragtag band of troops to fight the hackers. There's a bunch of like characters that are all like ready, standing to fight, and then they kind of get wiped out very quickly by Raccoon because he's a dirty cheater. Those characters, who those of you that followed the original series might have recognized them immediately, they will be appearing in the third episode. And I'll talk about the first two. We have these two girl characters that are Flame Girl's friends, and she hangs out with them for a while, so they have some stuff going on. It's funny, when I was directing the two actresses that I was working with, I was telling them, okay, so these are the two characters that are friends with the main girl, and let me put it this way. This one is the Fluttershy friend, and this one is the Rainbow Dash friend. Immediately, the actresses knew exactly what I meant, and they got it. Like,
no, pony references.
That's the funny thing. I'm not even like that. Like, I'm not even like a big, like, oh, I love that show so much. Oh, it's the best thing ever made, or whatever. I appreciate that it's a good animated program, but I'm not like, hey, I'm gonna like make crazy, creepy fan stuff because, oh man, My Little Pony is the second coming of Jesus. But it's just funny that that show's become so all-encompassing that the actresses I was working with got that like analogy immediately. So there's Saturn Diva, who's the sort of rough and tough, like tomboy kind of friend. She's got like these two arm blades and little pigtail things, and she's a badass. Oh, sorry, she's a bad girl, but she's nice. And anyway, and then there's Whitey, who's the nice kind of soft-spoken girl who has like ice powers and stuff, and she's very supportive. And so some of the early stuff going on in the episode has to do with the three girls, and they're all kind of hanging out and doing stuff. And so yeah, they'll be showing up, and then a couple other ones as well. And we've got a couple bad guys and things going on. So, and also we've got a new location that's going to be in this episode too, which I need to draw up some layouts for my background artist to do soon, because it's going to be very detailed. And so I'm aiming to try and get that one out by Valentine's Day, and hopefully that will be the case if I can get everything together. Got a lot of new stuff I gotta work on in that time. Oh, one more thing. I'm sorry. This is also important. MagFest is happening this weekend. I'm going to be going to that. That is a thing. Absolutely. So MagFest, which just got moved to DC recently, I believe. Let me pull up the address. It's the Gaylord National Hotel and Convention Center at the National Harbor. That is going to be happening this weekend from Thursday to Sunday, a 4-day convention. I am going to be doing a couple panels. I'm doing on Friday from 2 to 3 p.m. I'm doing the Blue Core Studios panel with Eddie LeBron, the creator of the Mega Man and Sonic fan films. And then I'm going to be going to, on Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m., the Voice-a-Palooza panel, which is hosted by Mr. Wes Johnson from the cast of Skyrim, who's awesome. I did the panel with him and John St. John and Matt Mercer last year at MagFest, and that was a lot of fun. And Wes invited me to come back this year, which is going to be cool, and we like improv the plot of a video game, and it was ridiculous.
Well, I always hear that MagFest is amazing, but I feel like I'll never go because it's on the other side of the United States.
You ever get the chance to go? I mean this in every like facet. If there's any convention that you or anybody that is on your side of the country would have to save up money for to go to that's that far away, MagFest is it, because MagFest is so much unbridled fun. Like, it's just complete fun beginning to end. Like, because all conventions, I always enjoy myself at conventions, but Mag is just, there's something different about it. I can't describe it. It's just, the atmosphere of it is great. It is just, it's so, like, you're surrounded by people that are all really nice and really cool and really passionate. There's, like, every single video game under the sun to play in, like, arcade cabinets and big room with every single game and console hooked up. You can imagine it's just great. Like, I can't gush enough about it. I've gone 2 years in a row, enjoyed myself like I cannot possibly describe to you every single time, and I'm really looking forward to going to that. There's going to be a whole bunch of great people there. A few other Newgrounds artists are going to be there, like Happy Harry, who I haven't seen in a long time. I'm going to be excited to see him again. There's going to be John St. John, of course, I mentioned. Grant Kirkhope, who's one of the composers on Banjo-Kazooie and a lot of the original Rare games. There's going to be some bands. I'm not going to say one because I'll probably get it wrong. Good video game bands are going.
But they can see it on their website if they search up MagFest.
Yes, magfest.org. Check it out. A lot of great stuff. If you can make it, please go. And I'm filming Curb Stomp 2, which I'm going to die. Mark Swin is going to kill me. I'm going to get all my bones broken and not filming that damn movie.
Well, I won't see you at that convention, but hopefully I'll see you at another sometime soon.
I hope so. I'd love to hang out with you in Christmas and Kibbs and whoever else we can scrounge together.
We can wrangle together. Well, hopefully if you ever come back to Vegas, there's Anime Vegas.
Someday, Anime Vegas I'd love to go to. I've heard lots of great stories about that one from Mariana Miller and Little Kariba before. That's a fun one.
That is my first convention, so that's like my home convention.
Very cool. Well, I guess we're nearing the end here.
Yes, could be doing the end. Do you want to take it away? You already know the whole format.
Yeah, I would like to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition.
But you already did.
Yeah, I know I already did, but you know what? I already did the last time too, but I want to do a new one.
You want to do a new one?
Yeah, I want to do a new one, but also you guys have my thing for in between, like my little commercial thing where I'm like, I'm gonna be a pretentious flash internet superstar. That's what my girlfriend calls me. Like, oh man, Mr. Internet superstar, whatever. Like, he makes fun of me.
We played that during the break.
Oh, good, very good. All right, well, this is Chris Niosi, aka Kirbopher, and you're listening to 91.8 The Fan, celebrating 2 years. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
Thank you. That was very nice of you. I like that one.
Yeah, see, because I know it, and I can, make it more detailed than other people. So screw all your other more professional, more experienced people.
Well, it's true. We do get voice actors on, and then they don't have a script or anything, so they get really confused.
I did my appropriate research because of all the episodes that I watched and listened to, rather. But
well, thank you very much for this. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, congratulations to you guys, 2 years. I will continue to listen, and I hope I'll see you all again soon. And everybody, thanks for listening out there, and keep it tuned.
Yes, keep it tuned to 91.8 The Fan, everything you want and nothing you don't.